Today, I have the honor of interviewing Emiko Nakamura, who also goes by Grace. She is the 2020 Gordon Tracie Memorial Award winner, awarded to her for her decades-long dedication to studying and teaching Central Asian dance. Born and growing up in Japan, she went on to study Uzbek dance at the top dance school in Uzbekistan. Grace became a cultural sensation on Uzbek television. She also studied ballet and Russian character dance at the Ivan Novikov Russian-American Ballet School. She studied Turkish, Uzbek, Persian, and Tajik languages and cultures at the University of Washington. In the late 1980s, Grace established the Eurasian Academy Ensemble, teaching children and adults the traditional dances of the Uzbek and Tajik people. For over 30 years, she has been the driving force for teaching Central Asian dance in the Seattle area. She serves as a board member of the Seattle-Tashkent Sister City Association. Thank you so much for joining us, Emiko, today. And again, congratulations on winning this award. My first question is about why is dance so culturally powerful? Why does it so strongly attract people? Why were you attracted to dance?
Thank you very much, Jason, for inviting me today. And I'm really honored to receive the award from Ethnic Heritage Council. Dance is very attractive to me because I was actually born as a little bit handicapped. And I was in cast for 3 years as a baby. And so like to do dancing, a little bit later, I started when I was 10. I realized dance is so good for health. Like we are designed, the more we use our body, the body works better. And as I do it with music and culture, that my body moves as well as that we can take a break from the reality to travel to somewhere else. And we can give our mental some break. It's sort of like movie meditation. And so I love dancing because it is some, how do you call it? It's an enhancement of life. Without this, life is like too much of a reality for me. And also, I am not a good sports person. I am not very competitive. So dance is something I love to do it because when I do basketball, I give the ball to my opponent. Dance is not competition or a winning score. Dance is some kind of self-expression. So I love dancing. Thank you.
That's very profound, very profound. Can you tell us why and how you started to learn Japanese dance as a child?
My mother is actually a lot more dedicated to dance than me. My children realized she still teaches at the Preservation Society of our area. It's called Shiso City of Hyogo Prefecture. She goes and teach young people. And actually my brothers, they do the folk drumming. So like entire family was kind of artistic oriented, and my mother was teaching all the time the cultural dance to the young people. So I grew up with, my father was also the taiko drummer. At the same time, he was a singer. He was an actor at the youth theater, and he was doing the soloist. So I was always inspired by my parents to get into performing art.
That's very inspirational. Thank you. Tell us about why you decided to study dance in Uzbekistan.
So this is something concerned with our heritage from our grandfather's father. My father's side. My mother's side is pure East Asian. But my father's side has a Ottoman Turkish heritage. What had happened is my great grandfather was adopted into our family because our family only had girl children. So they needed to find somebody succeed the Nakamuras, right? Actually, my father's side is Kishimoto, and then my mother's side was Nakamura. So Kishimoto's needed to find a successor, and this baby was out for adoption, and it says he's a white baby, okay. And our family adopted this baby. It was the seventh, his name is seventh extra baby, actually in Japanese. So it means that there was maybe 5 girls and 6, something had happened, maybe miscarried or so, and he was adopted as 7th. So like I always knew that we have some other heritage besides Japanese. And my mother always wanted me to be like succeeding what she was doing. She wanted me to be a Japanese dance teacher, but I happened to be born looking like my father. So my father looks like Central Asian more because he's like between like Mediterranean or Middle East and Asia, the Far East Asia. So he looks like either Uzbek, Turkmen, or Uyghur, right? So I was always telling my mother, well, you wanted me to be a Japanese dance star, but why you got married to my dad? My dad doesn't look so Japanese. So I had this conversation with my mother when I was little. I want to be star for you, but I just don't look exactly like Japanese princess. That was the beginning of my pursuit for Uzbek dance. Yes, I needed to see something that looks like me, so I feel more comfortable. So yeah, my mother and me, we talked about that many times, and that was the beginning of my pursuit for Uzbek dance. Yes.
That's very fascinating. And can you say more about what it was like growing up with this like Central Asian heritage in Japan, and what did that heritage mean for you and your family, and what kind of stories have you learned about how your great grandfather came to Japan?
Well, we don't really. Well, this is a story of battleship called El Togol, came from Istanbul uh, to see Meiji Emperor, and it was a delegation, peace delegation to Japan, to Tokyo from Istanbul. So they came. It was good. Everything was good. They met Emperor and had a big banquet and stuff, but on the way back, 700 people who was on a battleship met a very bad typhoon in the coast of Wakayama Prefecture, and only 70 men survived. There was a local villager um, rescued them. So my great grandfather was one of the 70 survivor. So I always say we survived. Like recently, there was a sacrificial festival. Abraham didn't kill Isaac or Ishmael, right? One time we survived, or the human race, yes. And then Noah's Ark, we survived one time, all of us, right? And the Nakamuras or Kishimoto's, our family survived typhoon on the coast. We are really a 3 times survivor that we survived. Yeah, so we survived as Japanese people, but our heritage, some of our heritage is from the Ottoman Empire. So uh, as I was growing up, there's things that I noticed that we are a little bit different. Like we supersize things. Japanese people like to eat very little small portions, but like my father likes to eat big rice, big everything, big pancake. So kind of, I mean, because they're Ottoman, so they are part European, part Middle Eastern, so they're like big meal. Yeah, I noticed that. Other thing is they're emotional. They enjoy the moment really dramatic, and they are noisier than Japanese people. So I noticed that I go to my mother's side of family, people are quiet, and they make it small portion whenever they eat. When I go to my father's side, everybody's singing, somebody doing the guitar, and aunties and uncle talk a lot. They are a lot noisier people, and they eat big meals. So I said, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm going to a two different country, but I guess in actuality, I was going to a two different country. Yes.
That's fascinating. And when did you actually learn about the story of your great great grandfather and know that you had the Central Asian heritage?
Well, Turkish has Central Asian heritage,
Mhm.
Turkish. But then they got mixed with many people
Mhm.
later, right? And then they are like somewhere around Turkmenistan, around there, they were kidnapped by the Arab soldiers, and then they got taken to the Baghdad, and then they got mixed with Arabic people, and then after that they go up to Istanbul, that area, where it was Greek, right, at that time, Byzantine Empire. So, like, if somebody's Ottoman, they are like, okay, Central Asian, Arabic, and also Byzantine, Greek. And then after that, maybe Bulgarian and Ukrainian and those people got mixed because a lot of times Janissary, they got little kids from the Eastern Europe. So those are the Ottoman, and I'm not very sure, but I feel the closest race I think we probably is close to like Azerbaijan or something. Like I feel like whenever I go to Azerbaijan, it's like, oh, something like my uncle would say, like something like my auntie was doing. Like I feel the like DNA similarity. Yeah, but at the same time, I feel in Uzbekistan, I get a different feeling because when I go to Fargana dance, when I do Fargana dance, I feel also the heritage of my mother's side because Fargana is a lot more Mongolian than say Khorazm or Bukhara. So when I go to Khorazm or Bukhara, I feel my father's side because it's got the Arabic influence, more Middle Eastern there. Yeah, and then Khorazm is like more Persian. Okay, so like I feel like Uzbekistan is where I am meeting, like as a DNA. Like I feel like okay, they are Russian influence. Okay, I also have a little bit of European, right? Because Greek and Eastern Europe, and then the Arabic or like these ingredients my family has, and my mother's side is Mongolian type. So like these all the elements are meeting in Uzbekistan. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I'm really curious. Can you tell us about your time studying dance in Uzbekistan, and how did you become a famous cultural sensation in Uzbekistan? Please tell us about some stories reminiscing from that time.
Well, at that time when I went there, it was 30 years ago. We still have Soviet Union and Iron Curtain. And it was actually the year before Uzbekistan became independent, well, 1 or 2 years before. So actually, I saw the demonstration of falling of Soviet Union in front of my eyes. They were really like today we have demonstration too, but it was like that. or maybe more furious. I saw like people running around, breaking grasses. Yes. Um, so midst of that, I came back to United States again. But when I first went there, it was the Soviet Union. For that 1 year I was there. I think I was very lucky. Why? Because I had Russian ballet training for 12 years so far at the time. I have about 28 years of Russian training right now. Although, I'm 60 years old, so I don't dance unless I need to. I usually teach or choreograph. Um, at that time, I was 30. I was professional dancer. My teacher was a very high caliber teacher who is a teacher of Robert Joffrey. Do you know, like Joffrey Ballet? Okay, of New York. Okay, that's like his artistic is showing Joffrey Ballet. Okay, so I had a top-notch education from Mr. Ivan Novikov, the ballet master. And so when I went to Tashkent, I had same training or even maybe better training than Tashkent. Because my teacher was from St. Petersburg. At that time, the, how do you call it? The gauge of who is professional was at the Moscow or St. Petersburg in Tashkent. So when I went there, I was a ballet dancer. I was dancing like 6 days a week. I mean, Mr. Novikov was very dedicated teacher, very sweet person, but very, very devoted person. He called me every day to practice. And so my body was very shaped. At the same time, I look like Central Asian. I look like Uzbek or like Northern Tajik or Uyghur. So they paid attention to me that I have Soviet training, not Soviet, but Russian training, Malinsky training. And I look like them, like their daughter or their sister or their neighbor person. So they look at me and goes, she came from America. And before then, nobody was considered professional. Before I went there, the people from outside of Soviet Union went to Uzbekistan. They thought, oh, okay, these are enthusiasts, but they have never seen somebody with Russian training coming from America, from like Seattle, Washington. So for them was a big surprise that a girl who is from Seattle, Washington, looks like Uzbek and has Russian training. This is why they really paid attention to me. It was like I was fortunate that I had combination of the DNA look and training of my great teacher, Ivan Novikov. At the same time, there's another thing, the great training of Professor Ilse Taltas, who made me speak Uzbek. So like Uzbeks say, this person looks like Uzbek. And also I'm from Japan, so I act with like, like respect and modesty is Japanese culture. So I do that. So it's like, okay, she speaks Uzbek, she acts like us, she has DNA like us, she has Malinsky training. So this is why the sensation happened. I was lucky that all this packet was in one at age 30. I was very lucky. And so this was the first time Uzbekistan saw somebody who can dance their dance in their tune and in their look. And language was there, training was there, and how do you call it? Like, they accepted me. Like, yeah, I wanted to say that. Like somebody like Tala Lipinski, she came from America, but she had Russian training and she was Russian descent, something like that, like, oh, wow, you're coming from Seattle, Washington, United States, but you have this training and you're speaking like us. What happened? How do you do that?
That's amazing, my understanding is it was you became famous because you're on the television. They had radios, all sorts of things, and everyone knew you and recognized you. Can you speak about that time when you had such fame and everyone was, could recognize you as you went all over Uzbekistan?
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. That is that me who is famous, or are you talking about Janet Jackson or somebody? I didn't know. I mean, because Uzbekistan is a relatively small country. It's like state of California. It's not like United States that we have all kinds of country. Like maybe entire Turkestan is like United States, but Uzbekistan itself is like California. Okay, so like if you be on TV and especially the New Year's program that I was on was like on the peak hour of broadcasting, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, everybody is like eating dinner time. So all the Uzbeks are eating pilaf, they call it pilaf, national dish on the New Year with all the relatives. And then here comes this girl from Seattle is dancing Uzbek dance, right? So everybody saw it. And next day or next week or two, whoever I meet, like in the metro, in the, they call it trolleys, they call trolleybus. In the trolleys, on the street, in the farm, in the, when I am shopping at the market or any store, they go, oh, we saw you. You dance our dance. Yesterday you were on TV, or something like that. And total of 4 times I was on TV in Uzbekistan in that 1 year, 4 times. And I couldn't believe it. Is that me? Did I do that? Or because I've been here a long time. It's been almost 40 years. I've been teaching like actually 36 years now in Seattle. I only was on community broadcast. I was not on King 5 or Common 4. Hopefully we will make it like for the 50th anniversary of Seattle-Tashkent Sister City Association. Hopefully we will make it to Como or King 5. But I was not on TV yet with Uzbek dance, but in Uzbekistan, because it's Uzbekistan, it's their country. If you do Uzbek dance, you'll be on TV. Yes, naturally. So I was lucky. I was very lucky. And I really appreciate Professor Ilsa Sertautas and also Ivan Novikov and the Sister City Exchange Program of Tashkent State University and University of Washington. And I also appreciate the great-grandfather shipwrecked in Japan, yes? I mean, all these people worked for me, and I couldn't believe whatever had happened. And also there was like, I think there was a couple of magazines came and did the article, plus like 4 radio stations, and then about 8 newspapers came. So it was incredible that Uzbek people, they like their culture to be expanding. Uzbek people loves to support their culture to be expanding. So I guess I was a mean or like outlet for them to introduce their culture to the world. And they are very proud of their own culture, and I love it. So we too got together, and so I'm so lucky that these things had happened to me. Thank you very much.
That's remarkable. And please, I think you mentioned when I was speaking with you that there's a story of a taxi driver. And I'm curious if you could tell that story about the taxi driver.
So the taxi driver or bus driver, after I was on TV, they all knew about me. So they would call me Emiko Hanum, like Lady Emiko, incredible. I mean, usually taxi driver in America, they don't know me. They may know about all American celebrity, people who on Hollywood movie and stuff. But in Uzbekistan, be on TV on the peak hour is like a Hollywood movie star. So they think, oh yeah, this is a Hollywood movie star, right? So it was an incredible experience that I've never had in my life. And hopefully in the future, I'm going to go to Uzbekistan and probably be on TV and do interview like this. And so it's going to be really exciting. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. At the University of Washington, you studied extensively many languages: Turkish, Uzbek, Persian, Tajik. Could you speak about what perspective knowing these languages has given you of the different peoples of Central Asia?
Well, language really expresses people. And uh, Central Asian people, they are very, especially Uzbeks, they are very open-minded and accepting of foreign people, and they are so generous and warm and friendly. And language uh, reflect what they are, and they have lots of how do you call it, love oozing out from language, and I love how their language is, and they are warm-hearted, really. I really appreciate their people because they really help each other. Their community is solid. I think there's a lot to learn from Central Asia into United States or like into urban Japan, because rural Japan has solid community it's a support system, but in the urban United States or urban Japan doesn't have any solid support system, or like being generous without no reason, like Uzbekistan. So I think there are so many things that we can learn from Uzbeks, and the language is a key because language has all the ingredients of how people are. And one of the things is in Uzbekistan, this is that I talk with Uzbeks, the difference between the West and the Uzbekistan, or the urban Asia and Uzbekistan, is we have to, like in the urban, say West, we have to be a church member or like a mosque member or the Buddhist temple member to be their sister or brother. In Uzbekistan, if you are in Uzbekistan, you are already brother and sister. In Uzbekistan, there is no, how do you call it? No rules, because, oh, you're my brother already. You are their brother without no criteria. So this is a type of culture of Central Asia. It's like they are so accepting and so supporting to each other without no reason. So I like them very much. I love them very much. Thank you.
And I know you practice massage, and you're very well trained in different massage arts, from Japanese to Swedish to Russian and American styles. And I'm curious if you can speak about what is the relationship or the resonance between massage and dance. How do they relate and inform each other?
Well, I think ultimately massage and dance is the same thing. It is designed for making the blood circulation better. Yes, like if you do a lot of dancing, your body, how do you say, generate more blood, right? Massage is the same. So what I do, I use sometimes massage therapy for my students. Like when somebody has a headache, I will say, okay, don't stay home, come to my class. I will do some of the acupressure. Yes. And I also use dance for my massage class. When they have like stagnation, I will show them the stretch exercises that they can do at home. So like I combine the art of dance and massage therapy together, and make people benefit. I think, our goal is, because world we need so many people that they need help. So like, you can help with massage therapy, you can help with dancing, you can help with many things. So I combine both. I give stretch exercise, or I will also give stretches on the massage table that I do in my dance. Also, I give a little bit of massage, reflexology, or like shiatsu acupressure when my students doesn't feel good. So, but also my modality wise, I am also international. In massage therapy, I do Swedish, yes, and I do also, I throw Turkish, I do. Um, I, I learned from two professional massage therapists. One was Azerbaijani, the other was Turkish. Um, these are the traditional hammam bathhouse style, and that is like a sports massage. Like it's like Turkish sports massage. So I learned American sports, Russian sports, and Turkish sports. Okay, and I do so Japanese, the meridian channeling, shiatsu. I also learned reflexology. Of course, Swedish. I started with Swedish. I started with acupressure and Amma massage in Japan. Actually, I started when I was 6. So like I have a, how do you call it? Like a life mission with the massage therapy. I mean, especially with meridian channeling type. And then I have a life mission with dance. And both of them make people have better body and more health and happiness, because the cell generate better. The how do you call it? We can make blood move better and make you happier. Endorphin secretion, endorphin secretion, serotonin secretion. You don't forget about problem when you dance or do massage. So it's the same source, I think. It's a healing. Yes, thank you.
Well, that's wonderful. And I know you've spoken about an idea of that, I guess there's certain, in the West, a certain number of biological systems, and then in traditional Far Eastern medicine, there's an additional biological system, and you're aware of it through massage studying, and you found that it's helped your students dance better. Could you speak a little bit about that? I think it'd be curious to hear, yeah.
Well, if you are healthy, you can dance. If you're healthy, or if you dance a lot, you'll be healthy. It's like it goes like chicken or egg. So I had some students who are handicapped, and I used the method that how to stretch and invigorate their system. And a couple of people who were gonna go to knee surgery, they didn't go because I was teaching every week to them. And also there was a man who had chemotherapy, and when he was little, and he came to me for 4 years now. His neuropathy is much less, you know. So I use dance exercise for rehabilitation or prevention of any kind of surgery sometimes. So I think it's ultimately dance and massage both has healing quality. Just massage is a, how do you call it? Like it's a assistive exercise, assistive, and then dance is a active exercise. It's just that that is a difference, but I use both for healing purpose, not only just culturally presenting, but also to make people happier and not depressed, not have worry habit. I want to keep teaching dance because of that.
Fascinating, wonderful. When you came back to the States after being in Uzbekistan, you dedicated much of your time teaching and promoting Uzbek and Tajik culture. Tell us what it is like to help Uzbek and Tajik families in America preserve their culture and pass it on to the next generation.
I think that right now they just landed about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So they don't understand the big importance of preserving culture. They are very busy getting used to be like American right now. They try very hard, like they, how do you say, we have to play baseball and eat apple pie, right? For first 15 years, I was like that too. I needed to be more like American and joke like American, talk like American. But pretty soon, sooner or later, Uzbeks will say, we need to do something because we are indeed Uzbeks. Yes, we have to preserve this culture. So I think there is the importance of establishing Uzbek school, at least on weekends, like Saturdays, and where they learn languages for sure, and maybe some other culture, like, okay, dancing, maybe also music, or like some of cooking, something like that, something to practice the culture, because it's very healthy for people who, for example, white people wants to do their own cultural stuff so that they feel like, okay, that's me. Okay. Black people, they want to do something African to do. So they feel like, oh, that's me, my heritage, right? The Uzbeks also has to preserve their language and culture. So I think into the future, in the Seattle area, there should be their own school, like Saturday school or something, like 3 hours curriculum, 3 hours curriculum for little children and the youth. That is very important because the different generations has to get along as a family, right?
Oh yes, and I know you founded the Euro-Asian Academy Ensemble and are on the board of the Seattle-Tashkent Sister Cities Association. And you know, the Ethnic Heritage Council, we really support and believe in the importance of ethnic organizations. In your opinion, why are ethnic organizations important?
Yes, we talked about it before. Um, if we just want to use the assimilation policy and say that everybody has to look like a cowboy, okay, then we can only do cowboy stuff. Like we have to always wear jeans and cowboy shirts and cowboy hat. But in this culture, it's called melting pot of United States. Like we want to do something more of a variety. Like I was talking to you, Jason. Like Monday, it's okay to eat hamburger, but Tuesday, we want to do like chow mein. You know, like Wednesday, we want to do tacos, right? And then the Thursday, maybe we try African, right? And then Friday, we want to do Indian, you know? And the Saturday, maybe go to sushi, right? Like we have so many richness in diversity and variety of things that we can enjoy. We can, you know, we say, if something is very good, very cool, and very beautiful, we all want to have it, right? Like a diamond, like a ruby. Something is beautiful. Everybody likes it. Okay. So Ethnic Heritage Council would like to invigorate the variety and diversity so that everybody can enjoy the treasure of each and every culture in an effective way. That's why I think Ethnic Heritage Council is very important and what they are doing is great. Okay.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, yes. And I see we're coming close to time. And so if there was any concluding ideas that you'd like to share about why your ethnic heritage is important to you and your community, or any other ideas, please share.
I think I can share with the young people and the youth that I think I'm a bridge between like Uzbekistan and here. And of course, you know, I've been here a long time, so I am an American too now. I understand American culture very well. And I had very good teachers who were Russian, who were German, who taught me Uzbek language. Such dedicated people that I got training from. And I can share this dedication, the intensity of keeping the cultural diversity and cultural, richness with American people, with entire world, with the intensity of my teachers, and the Central Asian open-heartedness, the Central Asian people's goodness, the good culture that we want to really enjoy with all the people of the world, including American people, that I feel very, happy that I came to this country. I became naturalized, and people are nice to me, and you know, like I was helped by so many people in this country, and I want to return this favor to the United States, and to also my my mother country, Japan, to entire world, you know, in love. I want to do something for nice people that who supported me, and I want to support them now, and I want to be a bridge of culture of all these people to enjoy the diversity and the cultural richness, and also for the Uzbek people to preserve their rich culture. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Emiko, and again, congratulations on winning the award. For all those who are watching and like this video, please click the like button, share this video with your friends to share this wonderful message from Emiko. So please share the video and click like. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you very